ULPT, if your UberEats order is missing an item, instead of saying that it is missing an item, say that you received the wrong order. That way they'll refund the whole order instead of the single missing item. Had this happen last week. I ordered McDonald's with 2 fries and only got one of them. When I went get help, issue with an order, item was missing, they just refunded the item that was missing, which is fair. But that little thing really annoyed me at the time. Instead go to get help, issue with an order, I received the wrong order, to get all your money back. Also, they don't refund the tip when you do this, so don't worry about the delivery person. They will ask for a picture of the order, but since technically the order is wrong, I don't see how they can dispute it. They also processed my refund immediately after sending the picture, so I don't even really think they check. Edit, McDonald's. Another edit, do everything you can to put blame on the restaurant. Also do not do this with small local restaurants. Do it to big corporations and make it clear that the restaurant forgot to pack something and that the seal they put on was intact. I mean, it could be the wrong order, lol. Ethical gray area life pro tip. r/egalpt. I've always wanted to visit Egalpt and see the Great Pyramid of Gisla. I always wanted to see a pyramid. Couldn't you just lie and take an item out of the picture you send them for a refund, even if the order they gave you was correct? This is ULPT after all. Probably shouldn't do this too often, so you don't get blacklisted. Or, if you order from the same place a lot, take a picture, save it. The next time you order something, use that same picture. Tada free food. This man frauds. It's also trivial to tell when a cell phone camera image was taken. You don't even need a human to review. It's pretty easy to fake. But that's a lot of effort. Just to dress one lie up as another. Literally just take a screenshot of the image. Yeah, but do this too many times and they may ban you. I know this is unethical life pro tips, but this one really rubs me the wrong way. My friend owned a restaurant, not a chain or anything. Spent all his efforts to get it up and running. People did this all the time through all the delivery apps. It was tolerable and all before the pandemic. But with the pandemic going on, 50% of the people ordering do this. And they do not pay the restaurant for the order. One time he triple checked the order himself, took pictures of the order, and made sure he personally gave the order to the right driver. $200 something order. And sure enough, about 3 to 4 hours later, the people claimed that it was the wrong order. Postmates did not pay him a penny for that, because people wrongfully complained. He lost out on a ton of food cost and labor costs. He had to close his restaurant down because 100% of his orders were delivery. This life pro tip is fine, but don't do it on mom and pop shops. Do it to them butt of ducking corporations who advocate for less taxes, while at the same time keeping their employees impoverished, not independent owners. Same thing happened in the restaurant I worked at. It was a big franchise though, so that didn't make a big difference to them. However, being the one who packed and checked all the orders for delivery or takeaway, I got a lot of shit. Sure, I did mess up from time to time, but that's why I would double or triple check if everything was in there. There were times, however, where I was sure that I had put everything in until management realized what was going on. I and a few other employees got blamed for it. So thank you for putting several people's jobs in jeopardy just to get some money back. Precisely. Owners get ducked. Honest employees like you get ducked. If I ever get any of my UberEats orders, I'll be sure to remember this. 0 and 3 with them. Do the drivers keep those tips with the refund when the order never arrived, but they mark it as delivered? Where do you live? I've only had one driver abscond with my food in probably 3 years and hundreds of orders. The one time I ordered in La, they never delivered. They take a picture of the food at drop off now, and then take the food after taking the pic. Had this once so far, lol. They will ban you from complaining about your order if you do it too often. Happened to my husband, which is now I'm the one ordering our food. He played you. He didn't like ordering. I saw the error message, and he still orders sometimes. Only from places we've had good experiences with. The drivers don't check the orders and won't go back for missed items. Are they supposed to? I know when I pick up takeout, it's always bagged and tied. If I want to check mine, literally have to untie and dig through every box to make sure my wife's meal doesn't have bean sprouts or it's shrimp and not chicken. Don't know if I want a rando digging through my food. Absolutely not. Otherwise there's nothing stopping your courier from just munching on your side of fries while ensuring it's correct. It's supposed to be sealed at the restaurant for explicitly this purpose. This is actually good advice. I never understood them just refunding the one item. For example, I ordered with my brother and all I ordered for myself was 10 chicken nuggets that they forgot. Like, thanks for the $5 back, but now I have to order food again, get it delivered and pay tip. My worst experience was paying $40 for a meal where part of it was missing, and what they did send was in a bowl that wasn't even half filled. They gave me a partial refund, but it was still $30 and everybody was hungry. Same thing happened to me, except I reported it as a missing item. I actually got a full refund for the entire meal. Damn, you got lucky or something, because they refunded me the $3.50 or whatever for my fries and left it at that. Probably a contract thing. I imagine McDonald's gets a pretty sweet deal and can dictate the terms of their participation in the app. Meanwhile, those smaller shops should just be lucky their overlords even let them use their services and take what they're given. Just don't claim you didn't get the delivery at all. DoorDash has started firing drivers because on non-competed deliveries that actually were completed. In response, drivers have started filming deliveries and keeping logs of addresses. I've already started hearing stories about drivers going back to false fraud houses and ducking with people or even butt-alting them. Just stick to op. Don't claim the driver didn't deliver. A few years back, DoorDash had a system where you could report a problem with your order and get an automatic credit for the order applied to your account. But there was a glitch that allowed you to do it twice on one order. So you could order $50 of food and come out with $100 of credit. The best part was you could loop it and use the $100 credit and turn it into $200. The system let you do it 3 times before it stopped doing automatic refunds, and then you could use the credit to order whatever you wanted. I had free food off of that for like 3 months by just making new accounts until they finally fixed it. Damn, I was in a place a few years back where this would have saved my butt. Make sure you specify somehow the restaurant ducked it up, not the driver, as they carry up to 4 to 5 meals at a time. So it's fairly possible, and they could lose their gig. I like how DoorDash asks for you to rate both the restaurant food and the delivery separately. Shucks, this happened to me today. I just did that with Eat Street. Carpally on accident, but driver gave me wrong order. I cancelled with Eat Street, got a refund, and then the driver came back and gave me the order. Oh well, I guess. I mean, it's so difficult for small restaurants right now, and if you are trying to scam them for free food, that's very low. Also, a big portion of big chain restaurants are franchises, i.e. owned locally by people who are probably your neighbors, and that restaurant might be their only source of income. Stealing burgers from your local McDonald's just hurts them and their employees, not the parent company with the rich executives. Anyone rich enough to afford a franchise isn't hurt by these scams. McDonald's, for example, requires $500,000 in liquid capital to even apply to become an owner. Add in another $2 million for build out and the location. They're filthy stinking rich if they own a franchise. Related ULPT, if a DoorDash or UberEats order comes to your door and you didn't order it, just accept it. You get free food, and the person who ordered gets refunded and will get free food, albeit with an extra wait time. To make it slightly more ethical, accept it and call the restaurant saying your housemate took it in thinking it was for you. This way the restaurant can start remaking the misdelivered food as soon as possible and reduce the correct customer's wait time. Some McDonald's and other big chain restaurants are still franchised and locally owned, and this hurts them because they are small business owners. I know this is unethical if EPRA tips, but this happens at my job a lot and we lose more money than we make. Bro, stop leaking the secret sauce. This reminds me of one summer me and the boys went overboard with this. Started off with Domino's. Domino's out here, in not American, had a real good customer policy. Just say over the phone the pizza was burnt or was missing cheese and they would come back and deliver the exact order. No questions asked. We would eat the pretty decent pizza and then call up and say stuff and get back the entire order again. If you are thinking where all that pizza went, just keep on giving them to a group of hungry teenage boys and be amazed. Anyway, couple of us shifted base to another city for a month or two. Here too, the same ploy worked and all was good. And then we tried this with McDonald's. At first the grievances were true. Burgers were in fact missing from the order. So called up ahead, asked for a replacement. The delivery guy comes and gives us replacement order. Second time, onions missed. So asked for a replacement and got it. A week later, onions were again missing from the burgers. So we call up the customer care and ask them to replace it. This time the guy's adamant that we hand over the incorrect order and take the corrected one. It's called replacement for a reason, he says. We have an argument, but reluctantly hand over the uneaten ones and get back exact same number. We were pissed. How dared a multinational challenge the ingenuity of a few good men? So the next time we ordered, we carefully inspected the meal to find some fault with it, but then there was none. Everything was proper. Looked like they actually had learned from their mistake, but not to be beaten. We took out the onions, spread out the sauce to look nothing happened, clicked a picture and cried foul. 10 minutes later the doorbell rings. The guy is standing there and asks us, what is the issue? The three of us start ranting about the missing onions and how this keeps on happening. The minute we say onions were missing, another man, sulking in the shadows, jumps out, the tag on his uniform proclaiming, "Manager, sir, what do you mean there are no onions? There are no onions present in the burger. Look for yourself. Is this the level of quality you have at your store?" With a sly smile he says, "Sir, I personally prepared your order considering the past complaints and let me butcher you. I have put in the onions in those burgers." We knew he had us. Fair and square. We beat a hasty retreat and shut the door. Needless to say, the address was blacklisted and we never order McDonald's there anymore. You forgot the pickles. Something similar happened a while back, but I feel like it was justified. Grubhub Taco Bell cause I was lit with some friends. About 10:30. Says it'll be there in 40 minutes. Cool. 11:10 is taco time. Haha. No. Just kidding, 11:10 comes and goes. I check the order. Your order is in the works. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Maybe my driver's running late or something. It gets to 11:45 and I'm worried. Still in the works on the app. But I didn't feel like doing anything yet. 12:15 comes up. And I'm getting kinda pissed now. And I've sobered up some. Start thinking I'm gonna go get it. 12:35. And I remember Taco Bell closed at 1 that night. I cancel the order on the app. Writing I never got my food, I'm plenty sober now. So I hop in my car and head over there. Get there and the workers are closing up pretty much everything. Guys outside taking the trash out. I hope out and explain and he says, "Oh, I got you, bro." Homie unlocks the lobby doors and lets me in. Gets me my food and a shit ton of sauce and says, "Hey man, have a good night." I get back to where my friends are hanging out and check my phone. There's a notification from Grubhub. Your order has been refunded. Biggest dub. Taco Bell has never tasted so good. Just be careful. UberEats has a maximum amount for how much they will refund a single account. I used to order almost every day, only reporting my order if there seriously was an issue. I provided proof and everything. After 200 orders with maybe 10-20% reported, I'm banned from receiving refunds or credits. It doesn't matter if I have proof that I didn't receive an item. They refuse to refund me. Switched to almost exclusively using DoorDash now. 10-20% of ducked up orders is too damn high. I agree. Even when I order through DoorDash I have the same amount of messed up orders. And I order from many different restaurants. I don't know what it is about my area. I know this is ULPT, but keep in mind that saying you got the complete wrong order can also affect your delivery driver. I've done DoorDash in the past and half the time my orders were requested by merchant, meaning I won't get to see the order list. If places don't give tape receipts to the bags, there's no way for us to know what your order was. And we have to trust what we're given sometimes. For the most part, drivers aren't trying to mess your orders up. We want to get in, get out, drop off due to the amount of driving we have to do for the little we make. Don't get me started on having to wait a half hour for orders to finish being made, or people ordering from outside our delivery area with no tip to make up for the mileage. There used to be a live streamer who streamed his Uber Eats deliveries and would take out an item for himself to eat later. It might be they missed an item or Uber Eats driver took something from you. ULPT as an Uber Eats driver, I suppose. Seriously, duck Uber Eats. They ducked up my order 2 days in a row, then banned me because I asked for refunds due to their duck ups. I actually got the wrong order a few weeks ago and went through this. They make you take a picture of the tag with the order number on it for proof. So unfortunately this will not work at it. Never mind how I'm talking about skip the dishes. I have no idea about Uber Eats. That's strange. They didn't ask me for a picture of the tag or anything. Even if they did, the restaurant would have packed the wrong items or missed something, but put the right tag. You know, franchises are owned by mom and pops. They could very well be one of your neighbors. I worked at a restaurant with Uber Eats, and they would call about orders that requested refunds and expect us to confirm there was a mistake made. You can only do this a certain amount of times. I'm not sure what the dollar amount caps out at, but it can be more than $150 sign. I cap mine out after 5 to 7 refunds, and now, when my order is actually wrong, they tell me there's nothing they can do cause I've maximumed my returns out. I need to get a new number now to get a new account. I would say this ULPT isn't really worth it. It's been 5 months since I've been capped, and getting actual wrong orders is getting annoying. To each their own though. As a driver I wouldn't do this because I don't know if it affected other drivers or not, but on DoorDash you can claim that the order is uncooked and that's it. No picture, no nothing, and you get a refund. Something else is that if your account gets banned, you can just simply create another one. This is one feature I like about Uber Eats, that you must register the phone to the account. One time, while doing pizza delivery, a customer complained to corporate because we sent one too few boneless wings on an order. After I got shafted on a tip, I convinced the manager to only bring him one boneless wing to fix. It was my happiest delivery of all time. We just call this Uber Cheats. Insta refund when you say your order never arrived. Or get the right order, then order something different and less expensive from DoorDash. Switch the items in the bag and tell Uber Eats you got the wrong order. Now you have twice the food for the price of one. Unethical over 9,000 edit, minus 4,500. And then tell DoorDash you got the wrong order too. My lack of unethical disturbs me. No, you'll get the driver in trouble even when nothing's their fault. Source, I'm a driver for DoorDash. This is most definitely unethical, because when you do this the delivery drivers can potentially lose their jobs. They will literally lose their means of providing over a small order of fries. I deliver Uber Eats. I've heard people do this before, and it affects my score. I get a cool and precipitate lecture about checking everything off the list to make sure the order is right. If it happens more than a few times a month I would get fired. I get this is unethical, but given the current world crisis and the restaurant industry being one of the hardest hit, this just makes you an whole. You're literally trying to steal from families who are just trying to get by. Yeah, but like as much as McDonald's is a big corporation, most of the locations are franchised out, so you are just hurting all the employees working there by getting us yelled at and preventing our pay raises because we happen to forget one fry and have now had to pay you back for your whole meal instead of just a fries. You can literally just say you didn't get something delivered to you on DoorDash and return your meal for credit. It's all automated, so the only thing stopping you is if your morals apply to corporations. And also the drivers? Uber cheats, haha, you just gotta pay for 1 out of 4 shhh. It sucks if you paid for like $10 of food and $5 for delivery. That convenience is a third of the cost. Then like $5 is missing. Now it's 50%. I get the $5 back, but I wouldn't have even ordered at that point. It's a scam. Happened to me like 2 out of 3 times before I said duck it. I had this happen too. I ordered fried chicken from a place and they brought me chicken tenders. Not only was I disappointed that it wasn't what I ordered, but the chicken tenders were like $5 cheaper. So I think with tax, tip, and delivery I spent like $25 on a meal that would have only been $20 or so. I flagged it in the app as an incorrect order and they were going to give me like $7 credit or something. Something I didn't even care to use the app again over. On a whim I went and said I didn't receive my order or something, which I guess is technically true, and I got like $15 back. I'd still never use the app again, but at least it's there in the back pocket. Stealing is ethical as long as from BGCOPO rationes. Small local restaurants involve hurting real people. That's not true with BGCOPO rationes. BGCOPO rationes don't have employees who suffer from stuff like this. There's something weird about a new LPT flat out preaching to only target bad guy BGCOPO rationes. It's like posting a ULPT to rape, but then trying to tell people to use condoms. I complained to UberEats because I watched the delivery person drive down my block on the app and then just keep going. Suddenly I stopped being eligible for any promotions. This actually can hurt the driver over time, especially if you are in a rural area. I know this is unethical tips, but people in the comments actually seem to be serious about doing this. If you report you received the wrong order, or that you didn't receive it at all, it royally ducks over your driver. Too many reports like that, and the driver gets permanently banned from using the platform. Some drivers deserve it, sure, but most of us are just out there trying to make a buck, and people that do this can ruin our lives. UberEats won't do shit to correct an order. I had enough wrong orders, as in completely wrong, with them that I'd rather starve than order something through them again. This is DoorDash to me. Too many times did they double stack or triple stack my order, turning a 20-minute delivery into over an hour. Cold soggy food, missing items, melted drinks, the worst. Then had some drivers showing up with kids in the car, dogs in the car, smoking, and dropping the food at the door and running. Really ruins it all. Refund scams hurt the business who has to pay their workers that made your food. Please don't hurt small businesses, especially now that they're struggling during a pandemic. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you want more videos, don't forget to like and subscribe. You are helping me a lot. Thanks again.